So with everything going on when it comes to Russel Brand over the last 24 to 48 hours, I thought it would be interesting just to look at his life prior to these allegations and just to look at his life when he was a child. Hey guys, it's Rob Raleigh. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back at again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content coming to you from New York, and let's get into this video. Now granted, a lot is going on with Russel Brand, but I thought it would be interesting to look at his life when he was a teenager, when he was 13 and 14, and what happened and how dangerous it was at the time, and how there could be connections with his life, who he is, who he's become, and what he's being accused of right now. There's a lot of noise outside. I hate when that happens, but I think it's just interesting to look at this man's life when he was young. And he was 14 when he developed bulimia. He was 16 when he left his home and had these, significant drug addictions. But what I really want to get into is when he was 16, he was also sexually abused by his tutor at the time, and that he would continuously grope him at a very young age when he was young. He made his theatrical debut at the age of 15. However, I also want to get into the dark relationship that he had with his father, Ronald Henry, who was a celebrity dad and the father of actor-comedian Russel Brand. Now, Ronald Henry was somebody who had a very strange relationship with Russel Brand, his son. He would sporadically take him to Thailand during many trips to be in contact with prostitutes when he was a teenager, when he was only 16, 17, when he was a virgin, and he would pressure him to hire these prostitutes, take home these East Asian girls with him, and then continuously have some kind of sexual relationship with them. And this is very interesting because it looks like throughout his entire life, he's just been overtly sexualized by a lot of people around him, from those who are sexually abusing him and from those who are, like his father, putting him in these pressures where he had no understanding of any kind of relationship with a woman. He does not know how to even be in contact with a woman at that age of 16, 17, being a virgin, but then leaving Thailand after being basically pressured and coerced to be hanging around these prostitutes due to his father and wanting to impress him. His relationship and dynamic changed with women, and he felt like he needed to act like XYZ throughout his entire life. It also explains why he has a sex addiction, and explains why he likes to be a comedian and make a lot of overtly jokes in regards to sex with women. And then it could also lead to why these potential allegations could be true or false in regards to these women coming forward about things not being consensual, due to the fact that there is this hypersexualization that he did develop, a needless end to continue to try and prove yourself to your father. And this endless chase is what he created by you. A father should not be flying their 17-year-old son to places and then forcing them to have sex in brothels with prostitutes and etc. It's very dangerous and very wrong, and you're hypersexualizing them. And prior to that, only a year before that, he was being sexually abused by his tutor. So I think that people should also look at the bigger picture. I just find this stuff very interesting. I like to psychoanalyze. As somebody myself who has been sexually abused, of course I didn't go on to do XYZ, but at the same time you end up being hypersexualized, and it rewires your brain chemistry, rewires your perception of what sex can even be, rewires any boundaries, and you can put yourself in positions that are quite dangerous, or you end up putting yourself in positions where you become the dangerous one and you can harm people, XYZ, which is basically what he's being accused of. I had no idea that Russel Brand was sexually abused as a 16-year-old. I had no idea that he was forced to go to brothels and with prostitutes and fly to East Asia, and his dad would coerce him, have a very strange relationship with him. All of this stuff can cause and create this kind of addiction. Now it's interesting because now that he's allegedly become somebody causing harm, that's when it becomes an issue of do we even have sympathy for somebody because of what they've gone through? When you have gone through sexual abuse, you have sympathy for that person, but if they've harmed people, do you then have sympathy for them knowing what they've gone through? It's very interesting. His background and this rewiring of the brain chemistry is very real. I feel like this conversation needs to be had and present when discussing a scenario like this when it comes to Russel Brand. It really makes sense to me now why he has this overtly outward personality, why he likes to make a lot of sexual jokes when it comes to his comedian stand-up shows, why he has this addiction also to drugs as well as to sex. All of this can come from being sexually abused. People don't think so because it's just so small, and you think that, oh, you're just being touched up, you can get over it. Absolutely not. It can entirely rewire your brain chemistry significantly, especially at a very young age. 16 and 17 are very young. from what he was going through, let alone the girl that he was talking to, he was 16 as well. This control, this coercion, these kind of habits that you build in bed where you become what people were doing to you does happen sometimes, and you end up causing harm to people. And that's what Russel was doing. Alleged, from what we've seen in this stuff, he's been accused of R-word. R-word is very serious, guys, and people should take it seriously because it is R-word. Like, it's insane. So do let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this. I feel like somebody even mentioned my situation, saying that, oh, what about what happened with you and etc. I was a sex worker who was hypersexualized from sexual abuse. I wasn't out here harming anybody. I didn't abuse anybody. I didn't R-word anyone. So I think people need to really understand the gravity and depth of what he is being accused of, because there are multiple people coming forward. But what I will say is that the Channel 4 Dispatches documentary, which I will do a review of, I thought was a lot of fluff. The Times article, different, but I thought the Channel 4 documentary, in my opinion, was a lot of fluff. Yeah. It was just a lot of fluff, in my opinion. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this. I just wanted to do really a background conversation in regards to him, in regards to his, what he's gone through, how it's impacted him and how it still impacts him today, and how it's very interesting, especially that he's now in the limelight. But this is not something to try and sympathize with him. I just think that, it's an interesting way of psychoanalyzing somebody, especially from what they've been accused of, and, harming people. Once you harm somebody and you abuse them, and that's what you're being accused of, then I think that I don't know. It's just a mess. Absolute mess. We'll just see what the police do and if he does get criminally prosecuted, but I don't think he will. Anyways, subscribe to the channel. Click that button, guys. It is daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.